Groundnut. Today we today I am discussing about groundnut. Scientific name Arachis hypogea, family Fabaceae. Other names of groundnut are earth nut, monkey nut, peanut, or gobber nut, pig, kingpin of oil seeds, pygmy nuts. Groundnut is nothing but Arachis hypogea. Is derived from two Greek words arachis meaning to legume and hypogea meaning below ground, referring to the formation of pods in the soil. It is one of the most important food and oilseed crop cultivated and consumed in most parts of the world. It is widely accepted as excellent source of nutrition due to its high protein content 22 to 33%. Vitamins A, B and some B2 are the highest nutrient sources. Brazil in South America is the center of origin of this plant. Groundnut oil content varies from 47 to 49%. Botanical description of groundnut: it is a annual herb with more or less upright central stem with numerous branches that vary from prostrate to almost erect depending upon the variety. It has taproot system, stem is cylindrical, hairy and become more or less angular with age. The leaves of groundnuts are pinnate with two pairs of leaflets borne on cylindrical and grooved petiole. The flowers are yellow, complete, papillonate, and sessile. Usually, flowering takes place between 24 to 30 days after sowing, which is little earlier in bunch type than spreading type. The flowers open between 6 to 8 a.m. and fertilization is completed before midday. The gynophore is commonly referred to as peg. The peg carrying the ovary pushes itself into the soil. It is only after entering the soil the ovary begins to develop and takes horizontal position. That's why it is called as groundnut. Inside the ground, the ovary begins to develop and takes to horizontal position. At the same time, the pod begins to enlarge. The fruit is an indehiscent pod containing 1 to 5 seeds. The shell of the pod shell contains the seed is morphologically the pericarp, and the thin skin that covers the seed or nut is the testa. The nut is composed of two cotyledons which contain oil and other food materials. Classification of groundnut. According to Waldron or growth habits, the erect or bunch type. Bunch type is erect, including Arachis hypogea subspecies fastigata. Short duration 95 to 105 days. Early maturing and high yielding and almost free from dormants. High germination percentage 9 to 95. The spreading or trailing type, including Arachis hypogea subspecies procumbens, that is nothing but long duration 110 to 120 days, late maturity, high yielding ability and having dormancy of 60 to 75%, low germination percentage, spreading type 85 to 90% germination percentage. Commercial classification of groundnut is coromandel type. It bears small pods with thin husk, oval shape, smaller seeds. Big Japan or Bombay bold type. The pods of these seeds are bigger than coromandel type. Coming to the soil and climate, groundnut does well in well-drained, light-textured, loose, friable, and sandy loamy soils, which helps in easy penetration and pegs and their development with 6 to 7.5 pH. It is sensitive to salinity. Groundnut is a tropical plant, requires long and warm growing season. It grows well in areas receiving 50 to 125 centimeters of well distributed rainfall during growing season. Planting in cold, wet soil is therefore unsuitable. Planting in warm soils results in faster germination and healthier seedlings. Do not plant in dry soil and irrigate with cold water. Don't plant in dry soil whether it is not have an irrigation with cold water. Field preparation. The groundnut is a deep-rooted crop, but looking to its underground pod forming habit, deep ploughing should be avoided because it encourages the development of pods in deeper layers of soil, which makes harvesting difficult. Adequate rains at sowing are necessary for proper germination and good plant growth, and well distributed rainfall during the crop period ensures normal vegetative growth, increased flowering, and proper development of pods. In the field preparation, one ploughing with soil turn plough followed by two harrowings would be sufficient to achieve a good surface tilth up to 12 to 18 centimeters depth. Sowing of groundnut, bold and filled pods should be selected for control of seed-borne diseases. Treatment of groundnut seeds with thyram 3 grams per kg of seed, mancozeb 3 grams per kg of seed, or carbendazim 2 grams per kg of seed should be treated with these chemicals. Thyram, mancozeb, and carbendazim is recommended for seed treatment. Usually, groundnut sowing is undertaken with onset of monsoon. Seeds should be sown at 5 centimeters deep with the help of country seed drill. They are sown behind the country plough also with the spacing of 60 into 10 centimeters spreading type and 45 into 10 centimeters for bunch type of groundnut varieties. For seed purpose, pots should be shelled by hand 1 week before sowing time. Seed rate of spreading type of groundnut is 80 to 100 kgs per hectare. Bunch type is 100 to 125 kgs per hectare. Water management. Groundnut being a rainy season crop or kharif crop, sometimes rabi also, does not require irrigation unless the dry spell required prolonged and irrigation facilities should be given. Flowering, peg formation and pod development stages are critical for irrigation in groundnut. Generally 600 to 650 mm water is sufficient. Quality of irrigation water can affect the groundnut productivity. Limits for saline water for groundnut are electrical conductivity less than 4 mm millimoles per centimeter, and residual sodium carbonate RSC should be less than 2 milliequivalent per liter. Nutrient management in groundnut. Farmyard manure and compost 10 to 12 tons per hectare 25 to 30 days before sowing should be applied. Under nutrient management, NPK 8 to 20, nitrogen 16 to 80, phosphorus 75 kgs, potash as should be applied for the basal application. Calcium should be applied for at least 200 to 400 or 500 kgs per hectare of gypsum should be applied at the time of peak flowering stage as a side placement. Calcium is essential for good seed development. Introducing green manuring in crop rotation also helps in increasing organic matter content of the soil, improving its soil structure. It also improves the nodulation and enhancing the availability of phosphorus to the crop. Weed management. It is essential to keep groundnut fields weed free up to 45 days. After the crop emergence, application of pre-emergent herbicides such as pendimethalin at the rate 1 to 1.5 kgs per AI per hectare as spray, or flucloraline 1 to 1.5 kgs AI per hectare as pre-plant soil incorporation, followed by 1 to 2 hand weedings as when needed. Earthing up and gypsum application. The earthing up should be taken up simultaneously with intercultural operations. Basic idea of earthing up is to promote easy penetration of pegs in soil as to provide more area to spread. Gypsum application. Apply gypsum 400 kgs per hectare the side of the plant 48th or 78th day depending upon the soil mature. Applying gypsum hoe and incorporate in the soil, then the earthing up should be takes place, and avoid gypsum in calcareous soils. Application of gypsum increases pod formation and better filling up of the pods. Avoiding the gypsum in calcareous soil. Why? Because calcium already present in the calcareous soil. That's why we need not to give the calcium, as gypsum consists of calcium. That's why we should avoid gypsum in calcareous soils. Application of gypsum at the rate of 50% basal both in rainfed and irrigated conditions reduces the Kalasti melody and pod scab nematode in the groundnut. Harvesting. The prominent symptoms of maturity are yellowing, spotting of the leaves, and drooping of old leaves. The pod is mature when it becomes hard and tough, when there is dark tint on the inner side of the cells. In case of bunch type of groundnut, the plants are harvested by pulling. Harvesting of spreading type of groundnut is done by local plow with the help of blade harrow. Leave the harvested crop in small heaps for 2 to 3 days for curing and drying. Drying and storing of pots. The pots of storage must contain moisture less than 9% and kernel 8%, as the higher moisture level in the produce are congenial for the production of alpha toxin causes for liver cancer in human body. Yield of groundnut 1500 to 2000 kgs per hectare in spreading type, 1000 to 1500 kgs per hectare in bunch type. Ratio of kernels to pods is 70 is to 30. Kernels and shell. Seed or kernel consumed directly raw groundnut, roasted and boiled or processed into confucius and the peanut flavor enhancement are crushed for oil for edible and industrial use. Source of high quality edible oil 44 to 56%. Groundnut oil is edible, easily digestible protein 22 to 30%, carbohydrates are 10 to 25%, vitamins E, K, B complex, minerals calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, zinc, iron present in the groundnut, and fiber. Whole grains are also used as table purpose by frying, soaking, or roasting, boiling in different types of namkeen. Roasted groundnut is a most popular way of eating kernels, also used as a spice in vegetables and sprout for salads. Shell. Groundnut shell has a great potential for commercial use. It is used as a fuel filler in cattle feed, hard particle boards, crock substitutes in activated carbon, hulm, above ground vegetative parts used as animal fodder for manuring. Roots being legume nitrogen 100 to 152 kgs per hectare nitrogen and organic matter to the soil. Edible oil. Groundnut is used as a several uses but mainly used as cooking oil. Medicinal use also. Groundnut has different types of medical ointments, pastors, syrups, and in medical emulsions. Food preparation. It also makes various food preparation like butter, milk, candy, chocolate, chutney, groundnut chutney, and groundnut pack, laddu, barfi, chikki, chukki, etc. Post harvest technology. Groundnut oil is also used as biofuel. In 1900, World War time, World's Fair in Paris, as a diesel engine was run on pure groundnut oil. While in developing countries, enhanced oil content is needed to meet the ever increasing demand for high quality edible oil. The USA is being targeted to produce peanut biodiesel to run farm machinery to reduce the cost of farm operations. USDA ARS 2008 and Wright 2012, according to the right scientist. Groundnut cake. It is obtained after extraction of the oil is used in animal feed industry in many ways, in food for children and invalid foods for aged people, and also fertilizer. If groundnut product is contaminated with alpha toxin, the cake also would be contaminated. However, groundnut oil would be free from alpha toxin. It is refined that contaminated cake should not be used as animal or human food. The secondary product is the residual or cake left after the expression of the oil. It is also purified and supplementary mixture. The major protein of groundnut are arakin and conacarin, which is lacking in lysine and methionine, and its quality improved by either adding these amino acids or foods rich in the same. Thanking you friends. Have a nice day. Please like, share and subscribe to my agriculture tutorial channel. Jai Hind.